States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Got to get up to the big table here. Roll call, Mrs. Alpert,
Present.
Mr. Hanley,
Present.
Mrs. Cohen,
Present.
Ms. Cruz.
Present. Executive session?
Attorney Doherty is stuck in traffic on Interstate 81. He's trying to get here, so there's only personnel issues and several legal matters that we have discussed, so I will cover for the executive session, ma'am.
Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on November 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
On the motion, Mrs. Alpert,
Yes.
Mr. Hanley,
Yes.
Mrs. Cohen,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Treasurer's report for the period October 30th, 2025 to November 25th, 2025.
Bear with me for just a minute. He's not here. Oh, wait. No, never mind. I apologize. It's right here. Okay, this report is as of November 25th, 2025, and it's the balances of our checking and money market accounts. We currently have $1,754,413.52 in checking and money market accounts. Investments made in CDs amount to $8,089,164.61. Petty cash and magistrate funds total $11,400 for a grand total of $9,854,978.13. In addition to that, the different departments called AMPs within the Housing Authority also report separately. These numbers are as of October 31st. And our total is within the Housing Authority right now, all of the AMPs together is a surplus of $522,318.58. So that's the first month of the fiscal year. We're off to a good start with a little over $500,000 in excess funds, which will, most of it will go away by the end of the year and we'll zero out, but at least we're off to a good start. Par Gardens, on the other hand, is running a deficit of $12,015.08, and that's just for the month of October. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as we move forward through the year.
Thank you, Mr. Hanley. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Alpert,
Yes.
Mr. Hanley,
Yes.
Mrs. Cohen,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Secretary's report, communications.
No communications this month.
Okay. We now welcome public comment. As per Scranton Housing Authority policy, it is best that you keep your comments to 5 minutes. On the list tonight is Mr. Rick Little.
Before I start, I'd like to get these to the what do you call it? Board of Commissioners.
One for everybody here?
I only got 5.
Yeah. That's all.
I get.
The board will be happy to look at this. We'll put the rest in the database. Fred, you want to tell everybody out there in TV land what you gave to the board?
Yeah. Is this fine? Yeah, I just handed out the thing I got at City Hall about renters' rights, and I'd like to talk about that because I believe there's many, many people whose rights have been flagrantly taken away, specifically the elderly and disabled. And I'm talking to the city person, Robin something, about this a couple weeks ago, and she puts this out, but Scranton Housing Authority is exempt. And what's important here is people are still being evicted. I can tell that by your magistrate money to evict people. I have a friend whose mom lives in Washington West, and she's receiving eviction notices because she totally lives on Social Security, and the money comes in late, and the SHA lease says you will pay your rent on the first of the month, and SHA has a hardcore policy. When they go to court, and there's certainly a lot wrong with the courts, and because they know all the people that come from SHA to evict all the people, and this is just wrong in our democracy. I see a two-tier thing here happening here at Scranton Housing Authority, where the Board of Commissioners, who you people here are appointed by the mayor to Scranton Housing Authority. Then you come here and you have another vote of who's running Scranton Housing Authority, which has always been hard to figure out, especially in times of crisis, where the end of it is you're homeless, and the judges just keep going along with it, making people homeless. I mean, this is like a death sentence for a lot of people. If the community wanted to see these homeless, they could probably, the news could send a crew down to the kitchen down there on Penn Avenue, and like I've been to there many times, many people lived here, and they're gone. And this old lady receives it, and I've noticed over the many years, having lived in Scranton Housing Authority for 14 and a half years myself in the elderly building, that it's around Christmas, Thanksgiving, that all these legal notices go out. These people have no way to understand this. Adding to it is the Area Agency on Aging. There's laws called Aging in Place, and the American Elderly Act or something, which was made in 1965, the same time as Medicaid and Medicare was done. But the area agency, there's nothing between. You receive your eviction notice and you're gone. And I fought it for 5 years. I was constructively evicted for 5 years, flooding my apartment twice. People, employees of SHA, approaching me 4 blocks from here, just giving me, if you don't like it, why don't you move? I had no place to move, and I knew that before I started fighting it. And I did everything I could. I did the right to knows to find out who's in charge, who had keys to my apartment, who was responsible for this and that.
Time's up, Mr. Lou.
Time's up. Okay.
I just want to clarify that this tenant bill of rights, I believe, is for private landlords, but it doesn't mean that tenants don't have rights at the Scranton Housing Authority. I don't know if you want to say more on that. Carl? I know it's a little different for housing authorities.
Each tenant is afforded the opportunity per HUD regulations for a grievance process if they're put under eviction. And it's a lengthy process. Yours was more than lengthy, as you indicated. You had more appeals and opportunities than probably anybody in the history of the Housing Authority, Mr. Little. So when you say you were rushed out or immediately evicted, that's not accurate. And you continue to come here month after month and indicate, like we threw you out on the street. That did not happen. I'm not finished yet. You took months upon months, year upon year, and you would not take the advice of anyone. You could still be our tenant if you had listened in the beginning, but you did not. As for the rest of the tenants, there's a process. Most people ask for the hearing, and they go through the process. We are required to do that by law, and that's what we follow for each and every tenant. So for you to say otherwise is just not accurate.
May I respond?
You certainly can.
I was not given, it's clearly written in the CFR laws about housing authorities that you should get a grievance hearing and everything before you are taken to the courts. I certainly did that. I did it because I was in the same position as this old lady in Washington West. You receive rent charges that are, you know, they charging me for an air conditioner and all these little things. And this was right before COVID. And I wrote letters. I wrote many letters to you, Mr. Lynott, and many letters to Mr. Capolini, trying to figure out who was bursting into my apartment all the time. And this due process thing with notice, that's how they do it. They get around the notice. And I asked, as I spoke about before, this notice, tenants should be given the right to receive notice by email, because that way there's a time thing on it when it was. But the way Scranton Housing Authority has defined notice is just hearsay, and that's no good. That's no good once you get to court. I got to court, and they said, "Oh, Mr. Little, you refused to go to the informal hearing and the formal hearing," and then I'd be in court, and the prosecutor contracted from the county says to me one thing, and then he goes in front of the judge trying to make me out that I'm just a troublemaker, that I'm refusing to do it, to follow the rules. But I was certainly trying to follow the rules, and this thing of notice is an important thing. Now, the paper I gave you, you know, it has words like reasonable access, but on my Scranton Housing Authority lease, it's 48 hours. The actual word is 2 days, which is 48 hours notice. But that people would just come into my apartment all the time, and there'd be fire alarms going off every week, and countless other things that I call constructive eviction, when people have absolutely no other place to go once they're evicted, and that's just wrong. And there's a difference here, because you are appointed by the city, and then you have an election, and the only person in the election is Mr. Carl Lynott. And it seems like The whole thing is being run on two separate levels. I noticed last week that the what you've been calling the delinquents wasn't reported in your registered meeting. So I surmise that things are being moved around where you have an executive session where you're doing that. But this is Scranton, and it's Scranton Housing Authority. And I have looked in, there was a Scranton Housing Authority before 1939 when it became incorporated. It was a good thing run by good people to take care of the elderly. The building 420 Adams was built for the elderly. It was built with federal and state money. And somewhere along the line, they're just filling up the building. There has to be a record keeping that people can see of what apartments are for these poor people, elderly people, disabled people, and what are being given out as a private landlord. SHA is the landlord. And
Mr. Little, if I can
yes.
address that as you're proceeding on in your discussion. The federal government determined who was eligible for public housing. And that's how it was not converted, but adapted to elderly and disabled. Disabled is very broad and encompassing.
Yes.
Okay? You keep going on with your personal issue, but you keep neglecting to indicate your failure to pay rent for almost 5 years. Okay? You weren't rushed out. You had all the due process that was afforded to you and that you were eligible for. Okay? You come every month with this same argument, but you fail to indicate your failure to pay any rent for an extended period of time. Okay? That's
Not
the
okay.
bottom line here.
Not okay. That's completely wrong,
No.
what you're saying.
We'll discuss that at another time, but that...
No, I'd like to discuss it on
No,
the
we can't-
record sometime, or find somebody
It
I
is at the
can
courthouse.
discuss it on the
I
record
will say,
with.
I don't think it's appropriate to discuss either.
It's on record at the
past-
courthouse, Madam
yeah,
Chair. It's on
past-
record at the courthouse.
I don't think it's to discuss a prior or current tenants.
Well,
So just to follow up on
Yeah, that was
Ms.
the main
Cohen's
one, yeah.
question, so this is written by the city of Scranton, but the housing authority, because we're under HUD regulations, ours are actually stronger than this?
Much stricter, yes.
Yeah.
Much stricter.
So the Bill of Rights here is not as strict as the one that we
That's
use
correct.
because of
Maybe
HUD
at a
regulations,
future
that's all.
meeting, we could print out what those rights are and have them available. Or if you already have them somewhere hanging up in our location,
Sure.
we can make sure that that's available, yeah.
if I may say one more thing. The Bill of Rights is written into the 1951 Landlord-Tenant Act, which all judges are supposed to go under, and
It's been updated quite a bit since 1951.
pardon me?
It's been updated quite a bit since 1951.
Yes, it is, but they don't even, the first day I got to court, they took my, they have this thing called a they take your money supposedly for the rent, and the first day, Mr. What's his name? The DA guy who does the prosecutions, he doesn't give me a notice of this. He comes in with the Agency on an Aging person and the Lackawanna pro bono person who I'd never met, who I had given his boss a motion to dismiss. It's just a whole legal wrangling that is inappropriate legally for housing rights. I mean, All right. There's a notice downstairs on the window that says that the 5-year plan of Scranton Housing Authority is at the library. I've been going to the library every day. I went there today. I asked Martina. No. She called numerous times to Scranton Housing Authority here, and it's not there. It's not there. There was a pre-one many months ago that I looked over and read, but there's just no, there has to be more transparency. There has to be, people have to know, because there's a lot of people living in here paying what they call the market rate rent, you know, poor people, but not poor enough to be totally on Social Security or SSI or the things. And the way they build it up is, these buildings are just welfare things. And there's 2,500 beds here, and there's 26 beds only in a Scranton thing. And there's a contract with Lackawanna County for basic living expenses. But if there's no housing, if you don't get your federal housing subsidy, you're basically being booted out of the county. And that's what happened to lots and lots of people. So there has to be, Scranton has to get back to the moral standards of what this Scranton Housing Authority is and how it works. And I've studied for many years the CFR, and I can see all the chinks in the armor, the tricks they play to evict people. And, you know, you didn't pay on the first of the month. Well, my federal thing doesn't come in. And also, like when I came in, they know exactly how much money I get through my bank, People's Bank. Lots of people are like that. And then, all of a sudden, because of another legal thing, you didn't pay on the first of the month, you're a delinquent.
Mr. Little, your 5 minutes are as a person.
Okay, you're timing me here. But I'm going to send emails. I'd like to talk to you. I have to get to the bottom of this.
I gave you, and I believe each one of my colleagues gave you our email addresses last month.
Yes.
And they're on the website, so you're free to email us at any time.
Yes, I'm going to send you. I'd like to talk to you by phone or in person, where I can present the things I don't have time to present here in the 5 minutes I can speak here. But I think it's all important for the survival of the entire place, especially, especially with these data centers coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Chairman's report. I will probably speak more on this at our next meeting in the new year. But last month, I was afforded the privilege to attend a housing conference in New York City. And I learned so much and connected with individuals from other housing authorities across the country, and I was very happy to do it. And I want to thank Mr. Lina and Mr. Capelloni for their support of me in that, but I will speak more in depth on that next month. For now, I will just say I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, to all who celebrate, as well as Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa. Next up, Executive Director Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The utility report. This month, we're missing the water report. Hasn't gotten in yet, but for the month of November, the total as of now is $110,825.74. October's was $282,378.80. We'll incorporate that figure into next month's utility report. On the delinquencies for November, there were a total of 397 delinquent accounts at a total cost of $314,095.74, as opposed to October's $377 at $289, $289,765, 80 cents, and September's was 360 delinquents at a total of $249,390.55. The construction report, as of 11/24/25, site work for Building 13 and 14, K&R Construction has completed the work at both buildings at Valley View. We're currently moving in tenants into the new buildings. SHA is awaiting applications for payment and payrolls to be sent in. Building 12 is going to be inspected for occupancy soon, and the contractors have started and completed most of the work, including thin brick installation at 100%, drywall, spackle, and sanding at 95% complete. Painting is 90% complete. Cove base is 100% complete. Stair treads are 100% complete. Installation of trim, window sills, and shelving is 100% complete. Back porch columns have been painted. The column caps and bases are 100% complete. Concrete sidewalks are 100% complete. Handrails are 98% complete. Window caulking is 90% complete. Downspout painting is 50% complete. The HVAC construction, the control panel is installed and 95% complete. Startup and geothermal water flows need to be completed. Plumbing contractor is 100% complete, awaiting the final cleaning. Electrical construction, the installation of receptacles, switches, and plates is 100% complete. We should be moving new tenants in early January in Building 12 to go along with the move-ins at 13 and 14. So everything is proceeding rather nicely at all three units.
How many buildings are left after that?
4? 5. We're going to go back down the hill, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, but we're beginning work on 8 in the new year. Riverside siding and gutters, their current contractors are finishing up the second building at Riverside. Work is progressing to the next building. Finally, Madam Chair, the apartment report for November 2025. Under our public housing program, we have an ACC of 1,215 units with 1,160 units under effective lease. There are 55 vacant apartments, in which 27 vacant units are under modernization, vacant and approved by HUD. Under our Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, we have an ACC of 1,050 units with 732 units under effective lease. Total apartments under effective lease by the Scranton Housing as of November 30th, 2025 are 1,892 out of an ACC of 2,265. At Park Gardens, the total apartments under effective lease are 158 out of 166 apartments. That concludes the Executive Director
Do you
report.
have the delinquencies for Park Gardens?
I don't have it, but
Can we have that going forward?
sure, sure.
Solicitor report?
Again, Attorney Doherty's en route, I hope, but there are several legal matters pending, and if he does arrive, we can discuss them briefly, but I will leave that at that point because he's much more familiar with those matters, so
Unfinished business?
none.
Nothing. Under new business, resolution number 26-5, approval for the establishment of a checking account for the capital fund program.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Resolution 26-5, approval for the establishment of a checking account for the capital fund program. Whereas the Scranton Housing Authority applied for the capital fund program under the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development and received funds from said program, PA01 PA003501-25. And whereas the Scranton Housing Authority must establish a checking account for said program, and now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Scranton Housing Authority hereby approves the execution of all required documents to establish a checking account for said program at People's Security and Trust, 150 North Washington Avenue, Scranton, Pennsylvania, 18503. Can I have a motion?
A question. So at the end of this project, so this is for specific projects?
This is for the whole upcoming year.
This is for the 25 capital fund program.
This
We're
is-
spending 24 capital money now.
And that's in its own
It's in its own account, so every time we run out of the previous fund's money, we have to open a new account for the new fund.
Right.
Which we probably need to start using in February, so we're just getting a jump on it.
So my
Okay.
question is, the one for 24, will be closed out then?
Yes.
So that'll be.
That'll be emptied out,
Close that one.
and this isn't earmarked for anything specific yet, but new construction or rehabilitation will be part of it, so,
So it's basically all the capital that
Yes.
we're going to do in 2025.
right. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Mrs. Alpert,
Yes.
Mr. Hanley.
Yes.
Mrs. Cohen,
Yes.
Ms. Cruz.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Nothing under personnel?
May I, one second. I was informed today that a former, recently retired employee, Michael Palmatessa, passed away. He worked at Valley View for a number of years. He was a great employee and a really, really good carpenter, and he gave us many years of great service here. So Mike loved his trips to Italy and also down to the shore with his wife. And on behalf of all of us here at Scranton Housing Authority, I just want to extend our deepest sympathies to his wife and his entire family.
How long have you been retired?
Less than a year?
Less than a year.
Yeah,
I remember approving his term.
less than a year. God bless.
How many years was he with the authority?
Almost 30? That's all for personnel though, ma'am.
Well, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I send our condolences to his family as well.
Thank you, thank you.
So on that note, I make a motion for adjournment.
So moved?
Second.
Thank you, everyone.
We are adjourned.
Have a wonderful holiday season.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.